name is Meredith Cherry, and I'm with Magna Legal Services, and we have created a group called Virtually Legal. Virtually Legal is a platform, it's a community, it's all about the legal community, and it gives us the ability to talk about different topics that we care about, as well as talk about different organizations or charities that we should know about. So those that know me know that I love food. Food is, I fall in love with it more every day, and the older I get, that's all I think about. So anyway, my good friend Ryan Evans, he is in the restaurant business, and he is the Assistant General Counsel for Qdoba. They have over 750 locations in the US and Canada, and he is the Vice President of the San Diego chapter for ACC in San Diego, the Association Corporate Counsel. So basically he's a badass, and I'm so lucky that he is on here to talk to me. So hi, Ryan.
Hey, Meredith, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on. So I'm just gonna kind of dive in, ask you a few questions. So with COVID-19, how has Qdoba adapted with the COVID-19 restrictions?
That's a great question. It's been crazy for us, as I'm sure it has been for a lot of companies. We've seen the restaurant industry be impacted pretty significantly. I'd say one of the most significant industries that have been impacted by COVID. And so what we've seen is that kind of two things have happened. One is customers' preferences have changed because of the environment. And then two, things that might have taken 5 or 6, 7, 8 years to happen that we kind of foresaw coming now happened in the span of less than a year. And so things like delivery, we've seen, we knew that the industry was moving towards that direction, and we had planned for it, but all of a sudden within the span of a couple of weeks, we had to deliver because most of our restaurants were closed down or restricted in some capacity. So we've had to adapt a lot that way in terms of how do we get our product to our customers in a way that they want and they feel safe. And so it's been a lot of work for us. It's been pretty hectic,
Yeah.
but it's been fun to watch that transformation happen so rapidly where usually it wouldn't be that quick.
So if you're saying that you predicted it 6 to 7 years ago, it was going to go that way anyway. Is that what you're saying? So
yeah, we thought this would happen. It sped up. So for example, we don't have, we always had planned to build some locations with drive-thrus, and we had planned to kind of roll that out over time, a few a year. And now we're seeing that drive-thru in your dining room is either closed or it's restricted to 50% capacity or whatever it may be. People want to go and do a pickup window, or they want to do drive-thru, or they want to have delivery done. And so we've had to speed that up significantly, whereas we had planned for it, but now it's just a really compacted timeline. So it's been, like I said, a lot of work, but it's been fun to see that happen really quickly.
And also, just on a side note, I noticed with Qdoba that they have vegan, vegetarian, and of course meat and everything. So you can complement any diet.
We've got all different options. We've got a great limited menu item right now, cauliflower mash, which is awesome.
Oh shoot!
We also have the Impossible meat. So for those, yeah. So I'm a big meat person.
Me too.
But I will say, I like to eat healthy where I can't taste the difference.
Yeah.
If I can taste the difference, I usually don't go that way. But I'll say with the Impossible we have, it's really good. It tastes like ground beef. So if I didn't know it was not actually meat, then I wouldn't know. So for me, it's a great way to feel like I'm eating normally and still have the health benefits.
So you're part of the ACC, and I think I saw that happen during the pandemic. Is that right?
So ACC, for those people that don't know, is the Association of Corporate Counsel. So it's basically a global organization of in-house attorneys. And so I've actually been a part of ACC for over 10 years now. I was actually part of the global organization in one of the committees I chaired. And then I've been involved with the local committees as well. So I was involved here in San Diego and got on the board a few years ago, and then became president just a few months ago. So
amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
I love seeing people get promoted or make changes during pandemic. It's really exciting. Good for you.
It's been exciting. It's been really different though, because obviously, so typically we'll get together, we'll have social events, we'll have legal education events as well, and we've had to sort of completely revamp the way we do things.
It's just popped in my head. If there's, and you might not have an answer, but if there was one thing that you could like, is there anything in the legal industry that if you could ask a question and get like a survey for everyone to answer the question, like that you would want? Like, is there something that hasn't been moving in the legal industry that should be, or collaboration or anything like that? I know it's kind of vague.
That is an interesting question. I would be curious, and this is more from a personal perspective, but I would be curious at, and we sort of had this discussion at Qdoba a bit, is what happens with people working and location and pay and that sort of thing. So for example, in California, higher cost of living, higher salaries usually to compensate for that. You know, what if somebody who was working in the office every day a year ago, all of a sudden says, I want to work from, you know, Kansas City.
Oh.
And I do the same job I did. And A, will the company allow that? And if they do, B, do they keep the same salary? Do they adjust it downward for Kansas City? I've seen that happen or come up with a lot of different
Interesting.
groups. Here in San Diego, for example, we've got a lot of an influx of Bay Area people because we've had all the tech companies say, we're not going back to the office. You guys are full remote. You can do whatever you want. So we've had a lot of people in the Bay Area say, why would I live in San Francisco if I can go down to Orange County or San Diego or Phoenix or Vegas or wherever and get twice the house and, you know, keep my salary and not have to pay Bay Area prices. And so they're coming down here in droves. So I'm assuming they've all kept their same salary, but it'd be interesting on a widespread level.
Just kidding.
Right. I mean, if I can get twice the house, then why not? But it's something that's come up, and I think the companies will have to address it once we're allowed to come back. And a lot of people are going to say, no, thanks. I think I'm good. Do they keep their job? If so, you know, I'm curious kind of what companies are thinking about and planning for, if they are even planning for it, and what they're planning to do about it.
I'm excited. Like what I thought was cool from the beginning of this interview that you were saying that how you adjusted will carry on post-pandemic, and that's huge.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah.
I know there's some companies I know that are dying to get back to the way it was, and others are kind of going. That's the other thing. I think remote work was another one of those things that I think was, you know, we would have gotten to this point in a number of years. It's just we're forced to make that leap now. And so I think a lot of companies now that have seen, hey, I don't have to babysit my employees. And, you know, I was scared about not knowing what they're doing and when they're clocking in. And but now, hey, our business is still running just fine. I think those companies will go, oh, maybe we'll, you know, I don't know if people go full virtual, but maybe a couple of days in the office, a couple days at home, maybe certain positions. But I think, personally, I think that's a good thing. I think if people want to work remotely and they're good at that, then by all means, they should be allowed to. And those that want to work in the office and that works for them, and that works for them. Yeah.
I think that's everything in a nutshell that I was going to ask you, unless there's any special hidden talent that you wanted to share.
I won't showcase it here, but I will say that once upon a time, a few years ago, I did dance on stage in Las Vegas with the dance crew, the Jabberwockies. If anyone's familiar with them,
Jabberwockies.
They're a hip hop crew, and they wear like masks over their face, so you can't tell what anyone looks like. They're fantastic. They're awesome. And I was there, and they were looking for somebody to come up on stage with them. And so, you know, they looked around, and I'm sure they pegged me pretty quickly as the tall, awkward white guy, and thought, oh, that's our guy. So they dragged me up on stage, and I had to dance with them and attempt to do the worm and all kinds of fun stuff.
You did the worm?
Well, I don't know if I did it. I tried.
I just did a belly flop.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It means a lot, and I hope to see you soon, if not virtually.
Likewise. Take care. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care.